Good Monday morning, and welcome to the Livingston Parish News Morning Show here on Monday. A lot of Mondays. September 23rd. Appreciate you joining us this morning. My name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. If you ever miss one of these shows, you can check us out, www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. We post the audio and video versions of these shows there, as well as our long-form podcast. We're working on getting all those separated out, because we have a morning show here at 7:30 a.m., an afternoon show at 4:30 p.m. Then we also do, as mentioned, some long-form type stuff. If you missed Friday's guest on the morning show, we did have Brian Abels, who is a candidate for district court judge. Please check out that interview. We also did a long-form podcast after that interview, so plenty of information to try to help you with your election decision making. We will have a lot of guests coming up this week, specifically 2 on Thursday and 2 on Friday. Check out our Facebook page. We have events set up for all the folks that will be joining us this week. Without school today, your traffic is a pretty cool situation. Regular delays on I-12 heading into Baton Rouge as people just get on right past the schools and get on the interstate. Minor delays in Denham Springs, especially at 4-H Club Road, River Road, and 190. However, pretty wide open in on 64 heading into Central. Minor delays after the 10-12 split. It's currently 71 degrees. 91 is your high. It's still warm, and it's going to stay warm even into next Saturday. It's mostly sunny today. Low chance of rain. So it will get warm, but it's going to get cool at night. It'll be in your low 70s, high 60s in the evening. A reminder that early voting does start this upcoming Saturday, September 28th. It'll be open at the satellite location at the Denham Springs Walker Branch Library, as well as the Registrar of Voters. It's open Saturday to Saturday. That's the 28th through the 5th. We'll be open every day from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Won't be open on Sunday. No early voting on Sunday. So that's a reminder. Early voting starts this upcoming Saturday. There was a shooting at a nightclub late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, however you want to call it. The two men were arrested and taken to a local hospital to treated for non-life-threatening wounds and released. The sheriff is still investigating that. Tonight at Holy Ground Coffee, starting at 5 p.m., there is a parish council forum for those parish councilmen who do have challengers. That is hosted by the Livingston Parish Chamber. If you'll remember, last Thursday morning, there was an event for state representatives. Those stories are up. Our Kevin Fambro wrote them. They're set up kind of, I guess you can kind of say, by question. You know, what was the topic? They would give one person 2 minutes to answer, and then everybody else got a minute to answer, and then they'd rotate. So it was very interesting format, very informative. You can check those stories out, www.livingstonparishnews.com. We're also working on getting the entire video of that set up, so please keep your eyes out for that. So please remember that Parish Council Forum is tonight, 5 p.m. at Holy Ground Coffee and Walker. Also tonight, Denham Springs City Council will be meeting. If you thought flood recovery was over, no, not at all. It keeps coming back up. In this instance, two things are on the agenda. One is Wet City Hall will be declared as surplus. Now, I say will be like I know it's coming in the future, but I imagine they will because they have approved the demolition of the building. It must be declared surplus before that can happen, so I imagine that takes another step. Tonight, we'll find out. Also on the agenda is maintaining or re-upping the contract with Fortin Tablada, which is a master services contract for engineering services on flood recovery through January 2021. So that is another year and a half, roughly, or a year and a quarter. We're now looking at about that contract would run roughly 4.5 years after the great flood. So you can imagine things are still going, things are still needing to be fixed. We saw gravity drainage last Thursday in Cedar Creek. It had not been cleaned in quite some time, so they were out there taking care of that. A lot of things coming together. Last week, Superintendent Joe Murphy mentioned something new that they're going to try to bring to Livingston Parish schools. They had remote classrooms already, but they're trying to open a fully integrated virtual school. They're committed to it. It's a fresh start. It's not something that's really up and going just yet. It very much preliminary, but he brought it up to the board. Board seems to be in support of this. It'll be something where kids, if they're sick, disabled, offering more options for kids, and I believe adults. Didn't mention it, but that may be an option for them to take a course if they throw up a minor fee. So it will be interesting to see what comes down the pipe with that virtual school, which is coming. He said they're committed to it and they're working on it, but there's no timeline as of yet. Wrapped up football on Friday. Well, we wrap it up on Saturday. If you're ever looking for a full hub, we put it at www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. It has all the stories, photo galleries, and videos from the night before. This past Friday, Live Oak dominated Westfell, very much a defensive effort. Walker couldn't get it done against Mandeville on the road. Denham picks up their first win against Santamon, kind of a nail biter, came down in the end. And Albany got out in front of Springfield and just kind of never let go, even though Springfield did give them a little bit of a run for their money. You can read about those events at www.livingstonparishnews.com/sports. Also, something that began this weekend over the weekend is Last night was the first airing of a show called Relative Race. It is a reality TV show that invites couples to come on, submit their DNA, and then they try to help them find family they may have never met. They race across the country with a chance to win $50,000. Deshae Hughes Pardon and Chris Pardon, formerly of Denham Springs, they now live in Ruston. Cherie Hughes and David Hughes, who owns Hughes Dentistry, his mother and father. Deshae was adopted when she was born, and had never really thought about her family or her biological family. She said she was never left out and was always considered to be one of the family here with the Hugheses. But as she got older, thoughts of, I wonder, started to penetrate her brain, and then once she became a mother, it really got loud. And, they say social media is listening to you. All of a sudden, she saw a Facebook ad for this show. Didn't give a whole lot of details. It didn't say Relative Race or anything like that. It just said, anybody, if you're looking for family, please apply. Eventually, she and her husband got on the show with the full blessing of their family and their employers, because the recordings were done consecutively. It's about 14 to 16 hours per day. As Deshae said, it was brought to you by Kleenex and Red Bull. So that premiered last night. It's on BYU TV. Airs 7 p.m. every Sunday. I believe there are 6 episodes in a season. So check that out. If you can't get to it, you can go ahead and record it. So we had a quick show this morning. Let's go back around and get to your traffic real quick before I let you go. And since it was a quick show this morning, not a whole lot of change. However, delays are now backed up on I-12 past Jubin Road if you're heading westbound. Tough commute this morning. Also heavy delays on the 10-12 split. I guess since everybody got to just roll right on past school, they got to go run into traffic. A reminder that it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit right now. 91 is your high. We'll probably feel like mid-90s. However, lows at night are getting to be very fallish. Low 70s, high 60s for the time being, but those highs are going to stay high. I'm a great meteorologist. A reminder that early voting does begin this Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday to Saturday. No early voting on Sunday. It's at the one of the satellite polling locations is at the Denham Springs Walker Branch Library. The main location will be at the Registrar of Voters office. Go vote early. The reason they're pushing early voting is because of the LSU game against Florida is on October 12th. That's also Fair Night, and that is also Southeastern's homecoming. So instead of having to worry about going to vote, all you have to do is worry about the results. Go vote early. Again, that's next Saturday the 28th through October the 5th. It is not on Sunday, September 29th. Every day the polls will be open 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. So go check that out. Please go vote and try to avoid the Lane Hardy traffic. One more time, my name is McHugh David, publisher and editor of the news. Appreciate you joining us today. If you can't catch these shows, if you miss them for whatever reason, you can always check them out on our website, www.livingstonparishnews.com/podcast. They are free there. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. Appreciate you checking us out there, giving us likes, shares, that sort of thing. A reminder that we do have several candidates coming up on Thursday and Friday of this week. We're also trying to get a lot of folks scheduled just as quickly as possible. Try to get them on the show before early voting. If we can't, we'll at least get them on before the general election. Thanks again for joining us. We hope you have a great Monday and it's a great start to your week.